Good evening, everyone. So what was your first question?
The first question I'll have is the owner of the t-shirt print shop. That's in your linear equations pre-test in Schoology.
It's a linear equation pretest. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me look at that. So linear equations pretest. Let's go. And this is why I have these sessions here. So when you're practicing, if you get stumped on a question or an area, you can ask me, because most of the studying has to be done on your own. 1 hour is not going to be enough, right? So
Right.
let's find it. Let me find it. I got all this stuff on my screen. Let me minimize this first. Here, linear equations. And again, again, this course not only can help you for your GED, but it can get you ready for your post-secondary, community college, your college courses, because you need to know the basics. So you can use this. This will be available. Well, now it won't be available forever, since Schoology just said October 1st. This will be unavailable from on, which was very surprising. Just got that message today, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to find another free learning management system that I can use. And then I'll transfer everything over. But it took hours and hours and hours to create this. All right, so the first question was, let's see, let me go to my questions. I think it's this one right here. That's the one. Okay, let me go here. Let me cancel. Let me go to preview. That way you can see the question like you would see it if you were taking it. And I'm just going to skip the questions until I see it.
Okay.
So remember, it's a lot of times you got to identify what you know. So first of all, with any chart, with any graph, you have to identify the title of the graph. You have to identify the X and Y axis. So let's find that problem we were talking about.
Okay. That's
not that one.
No, not that one. Not that one. Not that. Nope. Nope. I know it when I see it, I promise. No, not that one. Nope. Not that one. We did that one. Nope. There it is.
Okay, so it says the graph below shows the relationship between the number of pages printed, X, so that's your X-axis, and print shop, and the total price, Y, in dollars. So it tells you. Now let's just look at this chart. First of all, the title is print shop prices. Your X-axis, or the label of X-axis, is the number of pages printed. The Y-axis is your total prices. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, that's the most important thing you need to do when you see a graph, is identify the title and then identify the X and Y axis. That is so important. From there, let's look at the question that they're asking. Based on the graph, what is the unit price of a printed page? So how much does one page cost to print? Do you understand that?
Okay, yes.
Okay, so all we're going to do is go to this one, go up to the line, right? And then go over, right? But unfortunately, we cannot tell what that is because our unit is going by ones, 1, 2, 3. So we don't know if that's 50 cents. We don't know if it's 52 cents. So you can't that point because your Y-axis is not giving you a whole number. So what we want to do is we want to use a point that is going to correspond to a point that's a whole number on your X and Y axis. So that's here. That's here. That's here. So when we look at that information, let me make a closed dot to make it even better. Let's look at this point on the line. Remember, you can use any point on the line. So what do these points tell you? So let's look at it and say, okay, well, 2 pages is going to cost me how much?
Is that $1?
$1. So if I want the cost per page, now listen to what I said. Cost per page, right?
Okay.
Well, this
Yes.
per is division. So cost divided by the number of pages. Understand that?
Yes.
So when I look at this point, my cost is going to be how much?
$1.
$1. The number of pages I can print is how much?
$1 a page.
No, look at
No,
what it's saying.
sorry.
You're not assuming. You're looking at that point. So it's $1. That's going to be the cost. How many pages can I print for $1?
2.
2.
2. Okay.
So 1/2 is what is a decimal?
0.5.
0.5. When we talk about money, how many decimal places do you need?
2.
2. No, when you talk about money, how many
2.
decimal? 2. So what can we add at the end of this 5?
2.
What can we add at the end of this 5? A 0. How much does each page cost?
50 cents.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, so it's several things you have to know. You have to be able to read a graph. You have to know that this point I can't get accurate. I can't be accurate when I do that. So I go to here. So 4 for $2. So 2 divided by 4. I'm going to get the same exact thing.
Yeah, I got you what
Every single time, because that's what a linear equation is. It's the constant rate of change. So no matter what point you choose, it's going to be 50 cents a page. So now that I know it's 50 cents a page, I can figure out all these numbers. I know 1 is 50 cents. I know 3 pages is $1.50. I know 7 pages is $3.50. Why? Because all I need to do is multiply. Because I know my unit rate. Once I know how much 1 costs, I can find out any multiple of that. Got me?
Yes.
That's why unit rate is so important. That's why you have to have a clear understanding of unit rate. I can almost guarantee you're going to have 1 or 2 unit rate problems. So here, they could have asked you slope. See, they could have changed this question up, and they could have asked you, what's the slope of this line? Well, the slope is also 0.5. How much is it? That's why unit rate. Hold on, Mr. Tins, I thought you said unit rate. Yes, well, if we took the slope, remember, any 2 points, correct? So if I took this point here, well, we're not going to take 0, 0. Let's do here and do here, just like we did before. So y2 minus y1. So let's look at each point. This is 2, 1. This is 4, 2. 2 minus 1 over 4 minus 2 is 1 over 2, which is 0.5, which is 0.50, 50 cents a page. Again, there's different ways they can ask it. Here, they're asking for unit rate, but they're giving you a linear equation. This is a linear equation. So when you find that unit rate, that is also known as the slope.
my water over?
It's also known as the slope. Okay, so again, so this is where some people get confused depending upon what they ask. This is why you have CK12. This is why you have Khan Academy. This is why you have School G all in one place, so you can practice. So you can see a variety of different ways they may ask a question. So when you take your GED, you prepare. You like, I got this. This is no problem at all.
Right.
And that's what I want you being prepared for. Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Tinsley. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. What's the next? What somebody else put in a system of equations, correct?
Yes.
System of equations. Okay. So let's go to system of equations. I got a worksheet open. Now, I'm going to tell you this. There's not the system of equations Schoology, right? And there's system of equations in when you're learning in your adult education class or school. So there's 3 ways you can solve a system of equations. You can solve by graphing.
He helps people with.
You can solve by substitution. You can solve by elimination. For most intents and purposes, I teach solving by elimination first, because on the GED, you want to have 1 or 2 system of equations. One is going to be a word problem. One might be an explicit system of equations. So I'll do one of each, and then we'll see you know, what is easiest for you. So let's go here. We got a graph right here. So let me ask you a question. Again, this is a learning process. So I'm not just sitting here to tell you, this is how you do this, is how you do it. This is a learning process. So if I look at number 1, they gave me 2 equations. On that first equation, what is the slope?
-1/4.
-1/4. What is the y-intercept?
-4.
-4. Perfect. If you don't know how to do that, you should make sure y = mx plus b, identifying what the slope is, should be in your wheelhouse by now. For the second equation, what's the slope?
5/4, -5/4.
5/4. Why you say
Is it-
-5/4?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't see it. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
and
It's
your y-intercept is what?
2.
2.
Now, so now that's finding the slope and the y-intercept from an equation, slope in the slope-intercept form. Now let's graph it. Oh,
Mhm.
I bumped my head. I don't know how to graph. I forgot. Can somebody tell me how to graph these 2 equations? How would I graph the first equation? Can somebody please tell me? I didn't bump my head. My wife got this air conditioning on. I'm sitting here. I feel like I'm in an Arctic Circle and my brain is absolutely frozen. I need help. Can somebody tell me how to graph that first equation?
I'm just take a shot at it.
Okay.
We're gonna start with go to -4.
Okay.
You said
So again, if you notice, that's called your y-intercept.
my y-intercept, yes.
So you graph your y-intercept first. Why? Because it's easy. What does the y-intercept mean? It means where the line crosses the y-axis. So it's right on the y-axis at -4. Perfect. Now, if you want the coordinate ordered pair for that, it'll be 0, -4. Now, how would I get my second point for that line?
You would have to go to, it says it's -1, you go down 1, and then you go over to 4.
Okay, go over 4, not over to 4. Go over 4.
Over 4.
So down 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my second.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you a question. How did you know that? How did you know to go down 1 and over 4?
Because it's rise over run.
Because it's rise over run. Since your rise is -1, you said go down 1.
Yes.
And since your run is +4, you went over 4.
Over 4, yeah.
Now, I ran out of room, so I don't know how this is actually going to work on here.
I don't know either.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try my best.
Goodness.
Let's hope it works. I'm going to extend it all the way out. Oops, got to get this back on here.
Yep.
This
Okay,
back on here.
somewhat.
I'm going to keep working with it till I got it exactly right. There we go. Okay, man. I'm going to change my color for the next line. I'm going to change that to blue. So how can I graph my second line? So when I look at my second line, what is my y-intercept?
What are you reading? Second line? The second one?
2.
Right. So my y-intercept
It's 2.
is 2.
Yeah.
Hold on. 2. So I'm going to go to on my y-axis and go to
Right
plus
there.
2.
Yes.
Now, my slope of that second line is what?
5/4.
It's 5/4.
5/4.
Yeah.
Can I go up 5?
No.
So because I cannot go up 5, I have to change this to -5
To -5.
with
Yeah.
-4. Why
Yes.
can I change that to -5 over -4? Can somebody tell me why?
Because the rise can go up or down.
Not because it can go up or down. It's because in order to make the slope positive, I need 2 negatives.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so 5/4 is the same as -5 over -4. Understand that? Because my rise is -5, what direction am I going to go?
You're going to go down 5.
Down.
I'm going to go down 5.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, my rise is what?
-4.
-4. So what
-4.
direction am I going to go for -4?
You're going to go left.
To
To the left.
that's
1,
negative.
2, 3, 4. If you
Yeah, you're gonna go
notice,
left.
look at that. This is where the two lines cross. Look at that. This is the solution.
Wow.
This is the solution of this system of equations. So what I need to do is find that point. For some reason, okay, there we go. This point, what's the coordinate? What's the ordered pair for this point?
The ordered pair for this one, for the blue one?
No, where they cross, where the two lines intersect.
-3.
Not -3.
What is that?
-4.
-4 is my X. What's my Y?
Yeah, -3 is your Y.
-3 is my Y. So it's very important that you understand
-4,
that. Every ordered pair must be X comma Y.
Yes.
Okay, so your X must go first. So if I look at my X is -4. My Y is -3. So if I plug that -4 and -3 into those equations, they should work. Okay, so that means if I plug -4 into this equation, I should get -3. If I plug -4 into this equation, I should get -3. Okay, does everybody understand that?
Yeah.
Well, let me prove it to you. That's what I say. Let's check it. Make sure. Okay, so let's do that first. So let me save it and let me erase all of this. And again, as you go through this, as you're going through the video, understand each part of it. Don't move on until you understand each part. Right? So now watch this. I'm gonna grab my calculator. Because your calculator is so important. Hopefully you've been practicing every day with your newfound friend. I had a student call me the other day. She said, Mr. Tinsley, she said, you gotta meet my friend Connor. I was like, who's your friend Connor? She said, I named my calculator. She said, because I've been getting this, I've been understanding this so well now. I named my calculator Connor. I said, what made you say Connor? She said, because when I was in school, the smartest guy in my math class, his name was Connor. Now, watch this. Remember, I told you how to use this calculator. I said, X is -4. So I'm going to store X is -4. So -4, store X. And I'm going to plug it in to this first equation. So -1/4 X -4. Now, when I press enter, I should get -3. If I get -3, I know that's the solution to that first system of equations. Let's try it. Did I get -3?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to type in the second equation. I'm going to do the same exact thing. 5/4. This is why if you learn how to use this calculator, I'm going to make this test easy for you. I'm going to press enter. Now, I should get Y. I didn't type into this calculator Y equal because I know whatever I type in, I should get Y. And we already know Y is -3. So I hit enter. Did I get -3? Now you know that is the solution to this system of equations. This is why if they give you multiple choice, if you know how to use this calculator, you can plug them in until you get the answer without even doing any of this algebra. Why? Because most of the exam is multiple choice. Everybody understand that?
Yes.
All right, so let me maximize the calculator so you can see what I did. So you have to go back and practice.
Yeah, because I was doing this all week and I'm like, oh, wow,
All right, so that's graphing. Solving by substitution. I doubt if you have one with substitution. Now, if you're thinking about going into college for a placement exam, you're going to probably have it. But for the GED, you probably won't have to use substitution. But I'm going to show you how to do it. It tells you Y equal -7x plus 1. So everywhere I see Y, I'm going to plug in -7x plus 1. So 5x plus 4 times -7x plus 1 equal -19. So I took that and replaced it with Y. Everybody understand that? So now I'm going to use my distributive property. 5x. What is 4 times -7x?
-28.
-28 what?
X.
X.
X, I can't.
And then 4 times 1 is?
4.
4 equal -19. Do we have any like terms?
28 and 4.
Right, 5 and minus 28. Right,
Yeah,
because see,
28x
you remember
is-
a like term is something you can combine. Since they both
Yeah.
have the variable x, we can combine these two terms. What is 5 plus minus 28 or 5 minus 28?
It's gonna be a negative 23x.
Negative 23x plus 4 equal negative 19.
19.
Are we done yet?
No,
How can we solve for x? What do we need to get rid of?
you gotta do rid of the 4.
What's the opposite of plus 4?
Minus 4.
Minus 4. So whatever we do on one side,
Do to the other.
we do on the other. I am running out of room, so I'm going to go up top. So I get minus 23x equal minus 23. How can I get x by itself?
You have to divide.
Divide by what?
23.
The negative, the 23. Negative.
Negative 23. Okay. Whatever we do on one side,
You do to the other.
so they cancel. X is equal to, what is negative 23 divided by negative 23?
Oh gosh. A negative
Oh gosh.
positive.
That should be easy. That shouldn't be, oh my gosh. You're going to scare me. You're going to scare me. Said, oh my gosh. We should know by now. Anything divided by itself is what?
It's one.
Don't scare me. She said negative. I said negative 23. Oh my gosh. Ooh, don't scare me like that.
I didn't scare you.
Now, we're not done. We are not done. Remember,
Okay.
to solve a system of equations, we need an x and a y.
Yes.
So I'm going to take this x and I'm going to plug it in right there. Everybody understand that?
So you're gonna take the 1.
The 1. So y equal minus 7 times 1 plus 1. Y equal, what is minus 7 times 1? Negative 7. And what is negative 7 plus 1?
It's negative 6.
Negative 6. I have my y, I have my x. So remember, you're still not finished. So on the GED, they can ask you to solve for x, they can ask you to solve for y, or they can say, what's the solution to the system of equations? So when they ask you that, you need parentheses, x, comma, y. So 1, comma, minus 6 will be the solution to the system of equations. So that means if I plug that x and y value into both of those equations, it will solve both of them. Hold on, Mr. Tins, are you right? Are you sure about that? Let's make sure. 1 and minus 6. So let me clear it. So we said our answer was 1, comma, minus 6, correct?
Yeah.
So y, so hold on, let me hit undo. Y is minus, y is minus 6. So minus 6 equal minus 7 times 1 plus 1. Minus 6 equal minus 7 plus 1. Minus 6 equal minus 6. Good. Check. Now we solve it to the second one. 5 times 1 plus 4 times minus 6 equal negative 19. 5 minus 24 equal minus 19. Minus 19 equal minus 19. Check. Bam. There you go. So that's the second way to solve a system of equations. So the first way I showed you was with graphing. You're probably not going to have that. The second way I showed you is solving by substitution. The third way I'm going to show you is to solve by elimination. So listen to the words. Solve by graphing. I need to graph both lines. Solve by substitution. I need to solve for one of the variables and plug it in. Solve by elimination. Eliminate one of the variables. So when I look at this, right? So people look at this problem, and this is the type of problem you may get. In most problem, this is considered a difficult problem. And most people sit here and have problems.
No.
So what I would do, first of all, if this was a multiple choice, I wouldn't even try this problem. I would just plug the X and Y's into them and see what's true. That's what I would do. But let me show you how to solve it algebraically. So eliminate. I need to eliminate either the X variable or the Y variable. Well, 6 and 7, I'm not working with that. I don't know what numbers to pick to eliminate that. But what I do know is the opposite of 4 is what? What's the opposite of +4?
-4.
-4. So what would I have to multiply this equation by to make this 2y be -4y?
-4. What is it? It's shoot.
-2.
-2.
2. Okay.
So now I'm gonna do the distributive property. So I get -12x
right
-4y plus 12. Understand what I did? Even though the way I eliminate is I'm looking at one variable that I'm multiplying by -2. But understand, you can't just multiply by -2. You have to multiply everything by -2. Whatever you do on one side, you got to do on the other side. Everybody understand that? Now, this equation stays the same. 7x plus 4y equal 8, which you should recognize now as the y's are now eliminated. When you combine these two equations, the y's will be eliminated. That's the whole purpose of multiplying the first equation by -2. So what is -12 plus 7?
-4.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
-19.
You said plus.
-19.
Nope.
Yeah.
-12 plus 7. You
Wait a
don't know,
minute.
use your calculator. Don't know, use
Right?
-12 plus 7.
That's right, because it's okay.
It's -5.
So -5x equal 20. Everybody understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in order to solve for x, I need to do what?
Get rid of the divide by 5.
Divide by what?
By -5.
Divide by -5. You want to get the x by itself, so you're trying to get rid of the -5. Since I'm multiplying by -5, I need to divide by -5. That's how you talk yourself through a problem. You listen, if you're doing math, your people in your household should think you crazy, because they should hear you. Because you should be reading it, you should be saying it, you should be hearing it, you should be doing it. Okay, so I need to divide both sides by -5. The -5s cancel. I get x equal, what is 20 divided by -5?
4.
Yeah. 20 divided by -4 is -5.
-4.
-4. Now I heard 4 different answers. I heard 5, I heard -5, I heard 4, and finally I heard -4. So again, this is why in my ebook, I have a whole section on sign numbers. If you don't know how to do sign numbers, if you can't do them in your head, then you need to get used to doing them on your calculator. 20 divided by -5, you should know that they have different signs that your answer is going to be negative. So now that I know my x is -4, I have to plug it in. Now, to check it, you really would plug it in both of them, but you don't have to. We'll plug it in. Well, if you did this correctly, you really only have to plug it into one. But to check it, you should actually plug it in 2. But we're going to only plug it into 1. We're going to plug it in the second equation. So 7 times -4 plus 4y equal 8. 7 times -4, a positive and negative make a negative. 7 times 4 is 28. That's how you should be hearing yourself do these problems. So you know the steps and you're not remembering the steps. Plus 4y equal 8. I have 2 terms on the left side. Since I want to get the y by itself, I need to get rid of the term that does not have the variable, which is the -28. The opposite of -28 is
plus 28.
Plus 28. Whatever I do on one side, I must do on the other. So since I added 28 on one side, I must add 28 on the other side of the equal sign. The 28's cancel. I bring down my 4y. I bring down my equal. 28 plus 8 is 36. My y is not by itself. Y is being multiplied by 4. The opposite of multiplying by 4 is what?
Dividing.
Dividing by 4. Whatever I do on one side, I do on the other. The 4's cancel. Y is equal to
9.
divided by 4, which is 9.
Yeah.
So your X is -4. Your Y is 9. The point that solves this system of equations, you have to remember this,
Is -5.
is -4,
I keep saying 5. Why don't you say that?
comma 9.
Yeah.
That's the point that solves. That's the point where the two lines will cross at -4, 9. So that's every way you have to solve a system of equations. Now, personally, if you get multiple choice, plug them in. You don't have to do all this. Plug them in. Again, understand what an equation means. If I plug in x, y in that first equation, when I press it on my calculator, I should get -6. Well, let's try it. Let's make sure. Let's see.
Okay.
-4, 9. -4, 9. So we know that this is my X, this is my
And
Y.
that's
I'm
the
gonna
Y.
grab my calculator. Let's see. Let's see if it works. And this is where you get practice with solving it by hand, but you also get practice using your calculator. Watch this. So -4 store X, 9 store Y. If you didn't know how to solve store variables in your calculator, make sure you go over this section and make sure you know how to do it. Now, I'm going to put in that first expression, 6x plus 2y. If this is right, I should get -6.
Yep.
I'm gonna press
That's
enter.
what I got.
Did I get -6?
Yeah.
Sir.
So I know -4 and 9 worked for that first equation. I'm going to plug in my second equation, 7x plus 4y. Again, what should I get when I press enter?
8.
8. I pressed enter. Did I get 8? So now I know -4, 9 solves both of these equations. You learn, you don't know how much you learned tonight. So if you understood this tonight, now, okay, Mr. Tinsey, I didn't understand it. What are you going to do? You're going to watch the video again slowly, step by step. That's it. Just go step by step. Now, what I wanted to do tonight, first of all, any more questions? Okay, good. Linear equations are very important. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have an assessment. We're going to find a slope from a graph, a slope from an equation. We're going to graph a line, and we're going to see how you do. That's right. I'm going to put you on the spot tonight.
Okay.
I don't know if you was ready for this, but I'm going to be ready for this. So first of all, I'm going to do number 3. What I want you to do is I want you to, given this equation, given this line, I want you to send me in the chat the slope of this line for number 3.
Okay.
Send me your answer in the chat. And I'll let you know if you're right or wrong. Send me your answer. What is the slope of the line for number 3? What is the slope of the line for number 3? And I'm setting the timer for 2 minutes.
Okay. Oh, where'd my thing go?
I'm setting the timer for 2 minutes.
Oh, this really don't want to act right.
And send me your answer in the chat.
Okay. All right. I think this is right.
Okay, so let me see. I got 2 answers in the chat.
Where did I put it at? Where did I put my answer?
So in the chat. So let's see. Somebody sent it to everyone.
I don't see it. I got okay.
Shaquisha, is that how you pronounce your name?
Equation.
Okay.
Shaquasia. Okay, that was incorrect. And Rashad,
Okay.
I think I see why I did it
that
wrong
is
too. Hold on,
incorrect.
let me resend it.
I need to
Okay.
find my. I can't find this dog.
Are you on the phone?
Yes.
If you're on your phone, go down to the bottom where it says participants.
Okay. Oh,
Oh.
okay.
And then
I'm
go to
on
your
there.
chat.
Then go to my name or
Probably not.
Click on the host.
Brandy, that is incorrect.
Oh,
it keeps saying raise your hand or rename. It's not. Maybe I'm pushing something wrong. Or do I push it right? I don't know.
I don't know, but 2 minutes is already up. So,
Oh.
so can y'all hear that? That's
Go
time
ahead.
up. Hold on, Mr. Tenzi. You putting too much pressure on me. That's too fast. Listen, this is a problem you should be able to do in less than a minute. Not 2 minutes, not 3 minutes, not 4 minutes. This is something you should be able to do in less than 1 minute. Now, if I'm given a graph, what's the best way to try to solve the slope? How can I solve the slope given the graph? What should I be thinking of?
You should look and see if it's
location of
negative
your
or
X and Y.
positive.
Okay, so I heard, so the first of all, I heard, is it negative or positive? How can you tell if this slope of this is negative or positive?
From left to right, you see if it's going down. Yeah.
So from left to right, from the leftmost point to the next point, it is going down. So you already know that the slope is negative. So if you had multiple choice, you would eliminate all the positive answers.
Yes.
Everybody understand that? That's perfect. Now, what other ways can you solve? Now you know that it's negative. What other ways can you solve for the slope?
Wow.
You count.
You start from the
down.
Yeah, you do. You start from the point.
You count. You start from the point going down.
Okay. So first of all, this is where you start. M equal
Equals
rise over run.
run.
When you see a graph, they give you a line on that graph, you should be thinking first, rise over run. Now, you said start with that first point. You said going down. Count with me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. What kind of 7?
It's negative 7.
So negative 7.
Now
Over.
we're gonna go over to the left.
Count with me.
I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's negative 5, 7, 5.
Not negative 7/5, negative 7/5.
Fifth. Sorry.
Or negative 7/5.
Okay, negative 7.
So your slope of this line is negative 7/5. Hold on, Mr. Tinsley, the negative was up top. Remember, and this is very important that you understand this. Negative 7/5 is the same as negative 7/5, which is the same as 7 over negative 5. Hold on, Mr. Tinsley, how can that be the right way? Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. But watch this. I'm going to prove it to you. Because that's what I like to do. I want to show you. But this time I'm going to use it. Now, I always tell my students, go from left to right. But it doesn't matter. You can use any 2 points. So again, we're going to start with rise over run. If you see a graph and you see a line on that graph and they ask you for the slope, you should be thinking rise over run. Watch this. I'm going to show you something that's very important for you to understand. I'm going to start from this point. I'm going to start from the rightmost point. Now, I usually start from left to right. I know it's going to be negative because from left to right, it's going down. So this is why I always start with the leftmost point. But let's start with the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my slope, I want a positive 7. My run, if I start from that rightmost point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So since I'm going to the left, it's negative. So my answer is still negative 7/5. Doesn't matter which way. I would rather you go from left to right, but you don't have to. Because in America, we go from left to right. I think it's easier to go from left to right. But watch this. I'm going to show you something. The y-intercept, can anybody tell me the y-intercept from this graph? Can anybody tell me the y-intercept from this graph?
Isn't it 5?
5, right there. Where does the line cross the y-axis? Now, for the equation of a line, you need two things. You need the slope, what we have. You have the y-intercept, which is 5. So the y-intercept is plus 5. So my equation of the line is y equal minus 7/5 x plus 5. If your brain just didn't go kapow, I don't know what to tell you, because you just learned, you right there. It's probably 2 questions on your exam just from that one problem. Now, since nobody answered this correctly, now this is what bothers me, because 2 people walked me through this correctly, but nobody answered this correctly. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you another chance.
I couldn't get on the thing.
I'm going to give you another chance. I'm at number 2. I only want the slope. I don't need the y-intercept, because the y-intercept on this graph, you can't really tell. It's like 2.8, 2.9. I can't tell what that is. But what I can tell you is, for this graph, I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and I want you to send me the slope in the chat. So for example, last answer was minus 7/5. So you will put minus 7/5. Everybody got me?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna start the timer. Somehow I deleted my timer.
I don't see how I can't get on. I can't do it. Okay.
What is going on? My timer's not working.
Okay.
There we go. Send me the slope in the chat.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a nice one. Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it. And make sure you reduce to lowest terms.
All right. Oh, I gotta go. Wait.
Make sure you reduce to lowest terms. What is the slope of this line for number 2?
Okay.
How Kevin Hart, you gonna learn today? Wow, that was 2 minutes already.
Wait.
That's how fast 2 minutes. Oh, no, it's not. I'm sorry. I don't know what that time. What? I had 2 timers running at once. I'm sorry. It wasn't 2 minutes. You still have 55 seconds left. I apologize.
I counted this right.
That was a little bit too fast, wasn't it?
Okay.
Remember, slash. I need a slash, not a comma.
Okay.
If I see a comma, that's an ordered pair. I need to see a slash. I think that's Rashad, right?
Okay. I think, how can I get this?
So make sure you put the slash and reduce to lowest terms.
Wait. It's over here.
I'm going to extend it by 1 more minute because I only got 1 answer. So that's 2 minutes I gave you. It's about, the alarm is about to go off.
Mr. Chisley, I cannot put my answer
I'm going to add 1 more minute.
Wait, okay. I'm trying to. Why do it come up search? That's not what I want.
You should see participants at the bottom of your phone.
I'm on participants.
Click participants.
Yes.
Now you should see, you should be able to see the, change the participants with an arrow. And say chat.
I see. Wait a minute. Let me see something. Okay, I got you now. I think I got it now. I think
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I
learn something new every
believe.
day. Let's see. Let's see.
I hope I do. I hope I did this right. Because I'm on my phone. It's kind of, I can't really see it, but I hope it's right.
Sharon,
what?
You are correct.
Okay, cool.
You are correct.
So it's hard trying to count the little thing.
Now, that was 3 minutes. So what I'm also going to do is after tonight, with the video and the screenshots, I'm going to send this worksheet so you can practice, or you can use Schoology, either way. So let's do it. So since it's a graph, how am I going to start this problem?
Oh, I'm gonna let somebody else try it because
Okay. How am I going to start this problem? From
Rise over run.
rise over run. Okay.
I've been practicing this.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do next?
You're gonna go down
Go down from where?
from the first point.
From the first point. All right, count with me.
1,
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
6. What kind of 6?
-6.
-6.
Now we're gonna
Okay.
count over.
Now which way am I going to go?
To the
We're
right.
going
All right, count with me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So several people answered -6, 8. That is incorrect because a comma is for ordered pair. But if you answered -6/8, that is still incorrect. Because, hold on, Mr. Tenzi, you wrote -6/8. How is it still incorrect? Because remember, for any fraction, we must reduce to lowest terms. So
it's
2 goes into 6 how many times?
3,
And then 2 goes into 8 how many times?
4.
4. So the proper correct answer for the slope of this line is -3/4.
Oh my
You
word.
have to be able to do this problem. Because what they're going to do is they're going to give you an equation, and you got to find the slope, or you got to find a graph that fits that equation. So you have to be able to do it.
And
All
I
right.
stumbled on myself, Mr. Tinsley, because I had it, but I just didn't put it down.
Reduce
I
to,
thought
okay.
it was wrong.
Well, guess what? This is what you want to remember. I'd rather be wrong and say, oh, I see what mistake I made. But if you don't put an answer, it's like, was I right? Was I wrong? How can I fix it? You know what I mean? So now let's look at 6 and 8. You should be able to find the slope from an equation in slope-intercept form. This is slope-intercept form. And so slope-intercept form is y equal mx plus b. Now this one, I'm going to shorten the time. For number 6, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I need you to, in the chat, send me the slope of number 6.
Okay.
This should be easy. I'm hoping it's easy. That's why I'm only giving you 30 seconds.
Okay, now what I gotta do? Oh, wait a minute, I forgot what I saw. Okay, got it.
And send it in the chat.
Wait.
I got you.
Okay.
For number 6 and number 8, I'll give you 1 minute.
Oh God, 6 and number 8.
9.
Don't tell
For 6 and 8, I'm going to give you 1 minute.
Okay.
-2/9.
No, I said put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
Okay.
Rashad, you are correct. Randy, you are correct.
Oh gosh, I put the wrong number in there. So it's 3. And then
The second one, my bad, Mr. Tinsley. I didn't mean that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, my bad. I had to get myself together.
Brandy, your second one is correct. Sharon, your second one is correct.
Oh, what did I do wrong?
Equation, your first one is correct.
Go
Good.
back.
Everybody's looking good. Everybody's looking good. I love it. I love it. We got about
I got
15 seconds left for number 8.
Number
15
8.
seconds. Number
You
6 and
said,
8.
okay, you said you wanted the slope, right?
Want the slope
Yeah, I gave it to you.
for 6 and number 8.
I did it.
Okay. So for number 6, the slope was what?
It's negative 2 over 9.
All you gotta do was whatever's in front of that x. Negative
Yeah,
2
and
over 9. So everyone got
yeah,
that right. For the second one, the slope
it's
was
negative 2 over 5. Yeah, I
negative
don't
2
know.
over 5. Nice and easy. Okay. So if you got that right, you should give yourself a slap. Not a slap. Not a slap on the back. A pat on the back. Not a slap.
Yes.
Slap.
A
Slap
little
sound like
pat.
abuse. A pat on the back. Okay. Now, that's too easy. Too easy. That's the only ones they give. Okay. All right. So we got to graph this one. This is going to be the last two for the evening. It's 6:53. Let's do number 9 together. I can't do it in a multiple choice because we have to draw on the graph. So our slope is negative 5. Our y-intercept is negative 2. So how would we graph this line given the information?
You would start with the y-intercept, right?
We're going to start with the y-intercept. The y-intercept is negative 2.
Negative
So
2.
what's going to be our first point on this graph?
Negative 2.
Negative 2.
Negative 2 right there?
No, on the y-intercept.
So,
On the Y
but nobody
intercept.
said that.
Right.
Negative
I'm
2
sorry.
on the y-axis.
On the y-axis, yeah.
Negative 2 on the y-axis. So you could say that one or two ways. You could say negative 2 on the y-axis, or you could say 0, comma, minus 2.
Okay.
So you can either say negative 2 on the y-axis or 0, comma, negative 2. That's our first point. How are we going to get our second point?
The rise over run, right?
Rise over run.
So we gotta go down negative 5. Okay, over 1. Yep.
Can we go down 5?
No.
No, we can
So,
go up.
that negative 5 over 1 is going to become 5 over negative 1.
Negative 1, yes.
Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So what direction am I going to get my second point?
You want up
Up how many?
5 times.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then where am I going?
Over to the
over
left.
To the left. How many?
1.
1. How many points do you need to make a line?
2.
2. You just connect them. I'm a little off there, but we can fix it.
Oh, yeah, I gotta get on the graph.
That's how you graph a line if you're given the slope and a y-intercept. So what you also should understand is they gave it to you, but what if they gave this to you as equation? Y equal minus 5x minus 2 is the same exact thing.
Yep.
Because our slope is negative 5, our y-intercept is negative 2.
Okay.
Got me?
Gotcha.
Oh, I got it.
Good, good, good. So I should see a whole lot of practice on Schoology tomorrow, right? So if my slope is negative 3 and my y-intercept is negative 1, what's going to be my equation of the line?
It's going to be y equals negative 3x minus 1.
Perfect. What is the first point I should graph? I should put on this graph.
Negative 1 on the y-axis.
Negative 1 on the y-axis. My slope is negative 3, which is the same as, again, this is, you have to remember remember, rise over run is a ratio, right? Is a fraction, right? So it's the same as negative 3 over 1. So from this point, what direction am I going?
You're going to go down.
Down how many?
3. Down
1,
3.
2, 3.
And over
And
1.
over 1.
To the left or the right?
To the right.
To the right. I love it. I love it. Y'all gonna make me happy tonight. You better stop playing and make me happy. Boom. Let me fix it. And that's how you graph.
She in class right now.
There you go. Perfect. There you go. Right there. Sharon, I had to mute you because I heard some sirens in the background. So there we go. So tonight we went over system of equation, solving by graphing, solving by substitution, solving by elimination. We did slope from a graph, we graphed the line, and we found an equation of a line.
Yes.
Okay, so that's probably what we did today is probably 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 to 5 questions on your GED. So make sure you understand it. Make sure you know how to use your calculator. Each day you practice math. You should have your calculator. You should have scrap paper. You should have your formula sheet. And those are 3 things. You should have your formula sheet every single day. A blank piece of paper, scrap paper, and your calculator every day. You should be practicing all 3 every day.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because you want to be so versed with the calculator, these problems are not difficult. Now, one last thing. Remember we had the slope here? I'm surprised. Another way we could have did it, you could have said y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, to me, I think this is the long way. But if you don't got time, do it both ways. Y is overrun in this way, so you know how to do both, right? So you identify the point. My x is 4. My y is 5. My second point, my x is minus 2. My y is negative 5. So y2 is 5 minus a minus 5 over x2, which is 4, minus a minus 2. 2 negatives make a positive. When 2 negatives are next to each other, they make a positive. So this is 5 plus 5 over 4 plus 2, which is 10 over 6. Again, we can reduce that to lowest terms, which is 5 over 3. So again, so what that means is, let me show you. This is so important for you to understand. Watch this. I'm going to show you something. And watch this. My slope is 5 over 3. So every time I go up 5 and over 3, I should be on this line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3 on the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 3. 1, 2, 3 on the line. Because a linear equation is the constant rate of change. Now, what you should also be doing is practicing with your calculator. Boom. Watch this. So I'm going to grab my calculator because I want to be prepared no matter what they give me for the exam. Whether I do it by hand or whether I do it using a calculator, I should be able to solve a lot of these problems. So do both, right? So in D, 5 minus a minus 5 over 4 minus a minus 2. The beauty of using the calculator, you don't have to reduce it. It's done for you. There you go. Any questions before we leave this evening? Okay, good.
No.
So we got a lot to work on,
Yeah.
a lot to practice. Listen, I've seen a lot of people practicing this week. I'm probably going to see another 2 to 3 people taking the exam soon because they're doing very well on their practice tests, on their individual assessments. So keep it up. The most important thing is the practice. Do not get defeated because you don't score well. That just tells you areas you got to work harder. Don't look at it as a negative. Look at it as a positive. Everybody understand that?
Yes. Yes.
Everybody have a good evening.
You too, sir.
You're welcome.
You too. Thank you.
If you're new, make sure you put your email in the chat.
Thank
If you
you
are
very
new,
much.
make sure you put your email in the chat.
All right. Let me see.
Glad you can join me, Rashad. Glad you could make it. Stop the recording.